Our size isn't the thing that makes us unique. It's our participation in the Dresden Interstate School District that does. So in the current Act 46 language, Norwich would be exempt from any consolidation requirements. But we felt it was important to engage with our neighboring communities to talk about this because we think that there are some educational opportunities available there, even if we're not required to do anything. As far as Act 46 goes, I really think that the big push came a few years ago. There were a lot of folks in the state of Vermont rightly concerned about the level of property taxes that they keep paying, and seeing these things tend to go up and up and up, but they weren't necessarily seeing any relief in sight. So the legislator took a look at that from a cost equation perspective at the school system, knowing that we've had declining enrollment in the state of Vermont over the past several years, but the number of teachers, the number of staff people that we have hasn't really fluctuated that much. And because the spending formula in Vermont is based on a per pupil cost basis, when you keep those staffing levels high but the enrollment continues to decline, that number starts to creep up a little bit. So understanding that there was a lot of concern about the cost piece of this, we also have concerns at the state level about the quality of education. We do a really great job locally of controlling sort of the educational systems and things like that, but the opportunities for those kids can vary dramatically depending on school size or the location of those districts. And the state wanted to see if they could take a look at both pieces of those things, the cost piece of it, but the educational opportunity piece of things. And so a couple sessions ago, they took a look at that. There wasn't really a whole lot that came out of that, but this past year, there was a bill on the floor, H361, that got a lot of talk and a lot of traction, which ultimately became Act 46. It provides a little bit more of a stick, I guess, than the previous carrot attempt, such that districts need to do something by 2019. Act 46 put out what was a preferred structure. That preferred structure for school districts was a single district, K through 12, that consisted of at least 1,100 students. If you didn't meet those criteria, then the state said you need to start talking to some of your neighbors or even other districts across the state to figure out how we're going to get there. There were incentives that were put in place for this. School districts and towns that decide that they want to do this and are able to do it early, so able to do it by June of 2016, can see tax rate benefits associated with that. In the first year, it's 10 cents off of the tax rate. That decreases by 2 cents for the following 4 years, so it goes 10, 8, 6, 4, 2. Any district that can do this, but not as quickly as June of 2016, but after that, can also see tax rate benefits. They start at 8 cents per year and then go down after that. And then finally, any school districts that are left over by 2019 and have either chosen not to do anything because they think that they meet the preferred requirements or just weren't able to find other districts that they felt comfortable consolidating with, can apply to the state for a waiver, or at the same time the state can come in and say, you need to do something and here's what we recommend that you need to do. While I think that we all possibly may be coming to the table through different forces, the benefit that we see from the consolidation, I think, is a belief in these increased educational opportunities that all of the schools have. The good news is, for anybody that's watching this at home or isn't been involved in the process yet, it's certainly not too late. We're at the very beginning of this. We will be soliciting community feedback on all of this so that we get a good sense as to where folks want this to go. Quite honestly, school board members are very busy this time of year working on a lot of other things. We've got budget issues to deal with. We've got negotiations for contracts and things like that. And the ability to take this added work off of our plates, to move it over to a consultant, to gather the data for us, to help facilitate those meetings, and then just give us the information in the end really helps to ease the workload on board members who I think are already feeling a little pinched. We would fall into the conventional category per Act 46, and that just needs to be in place sometime before 2019. So.